We've got our draft order: Ant first, Chris second, me third. There's our categories. You got a full-size candy bar, American fun size, Canadian fun size, a non-chocolate treat. So that is something sugary, something without chocolate on it, and then a flex spot that you can do anything in. Now, the one rule I will put on this is we cannot double up a full size and an American fun size. So, like, if you have a candy bar you like and somebody grabs that full size, well, you can't take the fun size version of that. That is where we're going to have a little bit of strategy, and it's not just going to be us picking our favorite candies today.
Okay. I understand the rules.
That's pretty much it. So anything's on the board within reason. You know, we're not doing, like I said in the text before, no donuts, no apples, no your trick-or-treat donation has been blah, blah. No. We're just keeping it to the candy that, you have a good chance of going out and getting here in a little while. So, Ann, you have the first pick. You can go any direction you want. What is going to be your first selection here? You are muted.
Fantastic start.
Awesome start. I do have the first pick, and I think I am going to get my Canadian candy out of the way first. And go with a candy that I have in the house, thanks to my wife, who does this little box that gets, different snacks from different countries. And we got one from Canada, and it was Smarties. So I'm going to take Smarties.
I know that was on Chris's list.
It definitely was, but it's not what I thought.
Was it a stealer? Did I steal that one from you?
No, that's okay. For those of you who don't, right, this is, I have some candy here, obviously. This is what Smarties are. They come in a nice little box like here. They're colored, right? They're like that. So I feel like since I can't draft them, I might as well just consume them. So
there you go. That's food eating food, folks. That's a whole other level.
That's what I said. All right, so I know some of you have never had this, and that is absolutely criminal. But I am going to go with the candy I also have here, which is Coffee Crisp. That's right. It wasn't getting to you, Adam. Stop it. I am not going to let the rest of you take what is great to Canada here. Okay, you have your American goalies. I have my Coffee Crisp. So
when I was doing my research for candies, that was the number one thing on the list, but I have never had one, so I could not pick that one. But
I've never had
it. Is it like a Kit Kat or something?
No, it tastes. No? Think of it as like a hint of like coffee. Just a hint, though. Just a hint. It's like it's like chocolate. It's got a little wafer in it. It's really good.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Just based on a look, I was going to take that first. My pick there. No, you taking that. Is there a full size version of that, or is that like a Canadian?
You can get it as a full size. That definitely exists.
So,
I only have the fun size versions of them with me today.
So, which one am I slotting that as your full size or your Canadian?
Yeah, well, I'm taking the Canadian fun size. I got my full size candy bar in mind here.
So, does that mean the full size is that still in play?
No, so now it's if you
that
take a
candy
fun
is
size,
out.
Once the candy selected is out, so there's no full version of a Coffee Crisp available. It's gone.
I own the whole trademark.
All right, I've got decisions to make. I love being on the turn here. One of my picks will be a Canadian one because my top one was taken. I do have a couple others I like, but I don't want to let any of those go. I guess. Listen, I'm going to go with Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, but I'm going to have that be my full-size pick there because let's face it, even though when you get the one in the bag or the minis in the bag, no. I want at least the two or, maybe even the king size where you get four, but we'll say the two. I want my 2 peanut butter cups. I have to go with that there.
I was going to ask if that's considered a full-size candy because it's 2 little cups, but I would agree. That's perfect for me.
I think the 2 cups is about the equivalent size of your standard candy bar. So I think that's the equivalent there. And now you're going to have to forgive the pronunciation. Is it Sweet Mary or Sweet Marie for the Canadian fun size? Am I going here?
Should be Sweet Marie.
Sweet Marie. I mean, again, haven't tried it, but looked it up and that one looks pretty delicious. And I don't have a deep roster of Canadian candies, so I want to make sure I get that box checked right away. And I get Sweet Marie there, which sounds weird.
All right, those are decent. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go straight to the flex, and I'm going to go straight with another Canadian candy, of course, because I'm not letting you guys take what is mine here. And I'm sure I can find some other Canadian ones that also fit into like the full size candy bar kind of thing. But in the flex here, I'm going to go with Crunch.
And that is spelled just like it's supposed to. See, it's not.
It's just Crunch. It comes in so think of it as like chocolate with like little think of it as like
we have Nestle Crunch here. It's like the little rice in there, right? Like the dried rice. Yeah, so we have that.
Do you?
Yeah, it's Nestle Crunch bar.
Okay, well it's Canadian, so taking it.
All right, so we've got a couple of the takes in the chat here before we get to our next pick here. O. Henry is one possible one that's still on the board. That's both American and Canadian. We got O. Henry bar. They're not big down here, but we do have them. He's also throwing out Mr. Big. That was on my list. It might still come. We'll see. And he says Eat More is also Canadian. I don't know what an Eat More bar is, so you have to educate that for us. He's also saying chocolate and peanut butter need to be separated. That's like no, that is not like putting pineapple and those are not no. That's a whole other segment. We don't have time.
Survival sounds like he eats candy corn.
Yeah, I mean that's something that's probably not getting picked here today. So Ant's on the clock now with his second and third round picks.
Yeah, Adam, you took my full size candy bar. That's my number one favorite. And if I can't have that, I go with my second favorite. My full size will be a Kit Kat bar.
All right, classic Kit Kat bar, part of pretty much every Halloween. Real strong pick there to close out round 2. How are we opening round 3?
So I'll go American Fun Size. Now there's some candies that are great as small, better than their bigger versions of the bar. So the small one I'm going with is my Butterfinger. I like a Butterfinger as a smaller bar than the big long one.
You're right. The bigger one, like it starts to get stuck to the roof of your mouth towards the end of that.
And the taste is different. The taste is totally different.
I would agree with that. I think that's again, just like over the summer, you're really shrewd with picks. It's really annoying. Back to you, Chris.
I will go with a full-size candy bar here.
Okay.
I'm also keeping it Canadian. I will go with Caramilk, which is chocolate and caramel.
I like the name. I like when you do compound words. You keep it nice and easy. So there you go. Chris just fully Canadian all the way through, even though the Crunch bar does kind of cross both borders. State of Survival, my Halloween candy is poutine. Not a bad way to go before you eat the candy. There you go. All right, so Chris waiting on me to make my picks here. I've got American Fun Size non-chocolate treat and my flex spot. I'm going to wait on my flex spot. And no sugary treats have gone yet. But before we get to that, I got to get my Fun Size. I'm a big Baby Ruth guy when it comes to candy bars. If somehow I didn't get the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, that was going to be my full-size bar. It's got peanuts, chocolate. It's got everything you need. It's a reliable old candy bar. It's named after an American baseball legend. I mean, it's got it all. I mean, let's go. And then to go with my 4th round pick here, the non-chocolate treat. Much like Marshawn Lynch, I also love the Skittles. I try to stay away from them, but you put some fun-sized bags in my daughter's trick-or-treat bag, and I will be assured of what I say is the dad tax, where I take a couple of those things for myself. So we will be doing the Skittles for the non-chocolate treat here in the 4th round.
That is very good. Before I make my pick, can I move Crunch into the American Fun Size now that I know it's American?
Yeah, it's just
like they have Fun Size Crunch. Is
yes,
that allowed?
They do.
That's a big one on Halloween too.
Okay, I feel like that is fair. Okay, so I will now go with a non-chocolate treat as well. I'm a big fan. I like sour. I also like sweet candies. But in the non-chocolate treats, I'm going to go with sour tarts. Sweet tarts, sorry, not sour tarts, sweet tarts.
I don't know sour tarts. I know sweet tarts.
Sweet tarts. That is a very good candy. I enjoy it. I know it's a little chalky, and sometimes people don't enjoy it. I enjoy sweet tarts.
They do have nerds in the U.S. That is on my potential list here to round things out on my flex spot. You can still find the candy cigarettes. They're not easy to find, but you can still find them.
Those are really Snickers Farrell's got some really good ones. If your team was as good as your candy draft, you'd be at the top of that leaderboard, buddy. Those are some fantastic choices.
You don't want to. It's like you don't want to go trick or treating with him if it's you, because then you don't get all the It's going to be a competition for that good stuff. So yeah,
Good.
A lot of good Canadian picks there. Now Ant's going to close out round 4 and begin round 5 with his last 2 picks.
So let me ask this now. So there are variations of the sweet tarts. Is sweet tarts as it entirely, is it all gone? Or because there's a candy that I love that's non-chocolate that are called sweet tart ropes.
It's a variation. That's not the same thing. It's not like it's sweet tart tropical where it's the same form, just different flavors.
No, these are long ropes with the sour in the middle. Those are my kryptonite.
I'll allow it.
I'm okay with it.
All right. Because you know how they have like nerds, and then they have nerd ropes, and then they have nerd clusters, and it's like a whole bunch of different things. But the sweet tart ropes, those are my kryptonite. And for my flex, I am going to take Sour Patch watermelon.
Sour Patch watermelons. Those are good. I do like the watermelon ones. The strawberry one's also very good.
Mm-hmm.
Last pick there, Sour Patch watermelon. And Chris is about to make his last pick here.
I'm going to go with a non-chocolate treat. I enjoy candy as well. These are I just enjoy them very much. Starburst. Very, very good candy. Love it. I'll eat Starburst as much as I can. I like all the flavors, though. Less of a fan of the watermelon, but the orange ones are good. The yellow ones are good. The red ones are good. All of that's pretty good.
I like Starburst, but it is annoying when you get multiples that have the same ones in the pack that both have the yellow. But I don't like the double up. I like a mix. Give me a mix. I don't care what the mix is, but give me a mix. So I got one more to go here. The fact that the Snickers bar is still on the board is almost criminal to me. I feel like I almost have to take that. I've got a Baby Ruth, so it's a little bit of overlap there. So I'm gonna go way off the board.
They're totally different.
I'm going way off the board here. Boston baked beans is gonna be my last pick.
Jesus,
I would have never saw that coming as a pick.
They are basically like candy coated peanuts, like the red candy coated peanuts. Yeah, it's something different. It's not in candy bar form. It's poppable. Yeah.
Is it chocolate candy coated?
It's a candy coated with a tiny bit of chocolate in there, but it's more candy coated. I don't even think there is chocolate in there. I think it's just candy coated. I'm a sucker for those.
I don't even know where they sell those anymore. I feel like that's a vintage candy.
It is a vintage candy. That's like lemon heads, like that kind of era. That's where that belongs. That's a vintage candy. You don't see them if you go trick or treating, you'll probably find one of those like in your whole bag. You know what I mean? It's not like a Snickers or a Milky Way where you can have like 15 of them. But I think we have a pretty good candy draft there, and everybody's happy. Everybody's gonna have to go to the dentist soon, and but I think Chris got most of his Canadian stuff. He did not get sniped. I did try to do that. Would you ever consider a Sweet Marie bar, or was that not on your radar?
I was not on my radar. It's not as popular here. It would not have been. No, Coffee Crisp was definitely the go-to. Like if here in Canada, Coffee Crisp is really good. I also consumed A.O. Henry as well. Very, very good. So, and I know it's not up on this list there. I wanted to go with 2 candies because I enjoy candy a little bit more than the chocolate, but also Aero, really good. So it's like chocolate and it's got little like air bubbles in it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Again, if you know. So
if we are not drafting and you pick one of your Canadian candy bars, is the go-to the Coffee Crisp? Is that the number one for you?
I would say so. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Caramel milk as well. Depends on like my mood. But you can't really go wrong with Coffee Crisp. You can't.
Excellent suggestion here. Twix too. That certainly could have gone. That maybe if I had remembered Twix bar, that goes maybe instead of the Boston baked beans. He tells me Sweet Marie is for old people, which goes along with my wine palate, according to my wife, that I have the same wine taste as like a 50-year-old woman. So I guess that's just right in line with that. So there we go. There's our Halloween candy draft.